What do you say when a cop asks, do you know how fast you were going? I mean, if you were speeding, answering honestly isn't a good idea. I don't think they would accept any version of I don't know, so what's the proper response? Cop, do you know how fast you were going? Me, the speed limit. Cop, do you know what the speed limit is? Me, about as fast as I was going. There's no ideal answer. But I've heard the better ones are either choosing to remain silent, or if you want to actually talk to them, officer, I was keeping up with the flow of traffic around me. I knew you were here waiting, so I got here as fast as I could. I've heard at least one real lawyer suggest you say I believe I was going the speed limit. That way you don't incriminate or perjure yourself. Fast as fuck boy, i.e. then immediately speed off. I know I'm busted. The cop knows I'm busted. Just be polite. It makes big difference. Won't bore you with the whole story, but he asked me if I knew the speed limit. Yes, sir. Not anywhere close to 105, is it? No, sir. Well, to be honest, it's 4 a.m., there's nobody on the road but me. I guess I just got stupid. As long as you know that, you have a good night, okay? Yes, sir. You too. I have no idea, I'm completely stoned. My go-to is usually honestly I'm not sure, I was just paying attention to the traffic in front of me. The road doesn't piss the cops off, and also doesn't incriminate yourself. A couple years back I was clocked doing 95 in a 55. Cop asked me how fast I was going and I told him the truth. He thanked me for not lying, wrote the ticket for 74 in a 55. Huge difference in the fine. Sometimes honesty is best. They ask you a series of questions like where were you going, did you know your speed, and why are you in a hurry, among other things, hoping you will incriminate yourself, making their job easier. I'm related to cops. The best way to understand their motivation in any situation is to ask yourself, what is the laziest possible way to get through this interaction and still keep my job? Best rule to follow is give them the minimum necessary information. Don't lie, but also volunteer absolutely nothing. As long as you're not flat out rude, I don't think it actually makes a difference what you say, in determining whether you're getting a ticket or just a warning. They've already pretty much decided before you even roll down the window. They are just observing you to see if you seem drunk or whatever. In my 30 years of driving, the only time I've ever gotten off with just a warning was when I was in military uniform. No, but at least I know where I am. I believe I was under the limit, and certainly no faster than the flow of traffic unless you just blew by everyone on the road. This is the right answer. Last time I got pulled over and was asked that, I said honestly, no. I was just driving along with everyone else and didn't really look at the speed we were driving. My bad, and I got off with just a warning to actually pay attention to my speed and not just drive along because everyone else was doing it, and also a lecture about doing anything because other people are doing it. LOL, thanks, Dad. Yes. You're not admitting to a crime, speeding, or a potential crime, reckless driving, because you didn't even know how fast you were going. You can also say I choose not to answer that question. Similarly, if they say do you know why I pulled you over? You answer no. Even if you have a pretty good idea of why they pulled you over, you do not, to the best of my knowledge of humanity, have telepathy, so you cannot read the officer's mind to determine why they pulled you over. Do you know why I stopped you? Depends on how long you were following me. Totally depends on how fast you were going. 75 in a 65? Just be straight with them, and if applicable, I was passing someone at the time keeping pace with traffic. 90 and 50? Just shut the hell up, you're going to get a ticket anyway, and trying to lawyer your way out of it is a good way to get them to throw the book at you. I just politely ignore the question. Cop, do you know how fast you were going? Me, hi officer, here's my driver's license and registration and insurance. The insurance card shows expired, but my policy isn't expired. That's it. Run out of the car, OHMY, God, bees everywhere, get them off me. I say obviously a speed you weren't happy with. Hey, don't I pay your salary? You're a public servant, aren't you? Go get me a glass of water, you pin-headed prick. Good advice from Carlin if you'd like to find yourself in the back of a cop car. Here is my license, registration, and proof of insurance. Thank you for your service. Cop who pulled me over didn't even bother to tell me why. Just asked for my ID and spent forever doing some research on a laptop. Probably wondering how to fill out the paperwork for someone with no driver's license that he pulled over on a bike. Ticket said I ran the stop sign at the intersection where I stopped extra long because I saw a cop car there. Got found not guilty at my hearing. No, but I know exactly where I am. Let them know you're a sovereign citizen and you'll be on your way. You say nothing. It violates your Fifth Amendment right to not incriminate oneself. An officer should advise you the reason for the stop. Anything you say without being prompted could be considered a spontaneous utterance. Leo. Cop clocked me doing 98 and 55 in a Geo Metro 3-cylinder standard. He asked me that question and I told him 65 is like, how the hell could you say 65? I pointed the speedometer, and I said it only goes to 65. Had me step out of the car, realized it looked like ridiculous cause I'm a very big guy. Wrote me a ticket for 65 in a 55 LOL. I just tell him I'm usually going 10 over and know it. I've always been honest with cops when being pulled over and only once in 25 years got a ticket for going too fast, and it was in White County going 3 over where the speed limit goes from 55 to 35, and I had no clue this town is notorious for police pulling people over in this area. Fuck that cop. All the others have let me go with a warning and a try and slow down. Cop pulled you over for a reason, at least in their mind. If you want the best chance of getting off with a warning, be polite and honest. My husband got a written warning by saying, a lot slower than when I first saw you. I wouldn't recommend it, though it was Thanksgiving evening, and made the cop laugh. I once got pulled over on PCH and the cop asked me if I knew how fast I was going. I confidently said 65, or maybe 70, so 5 miles over the speed limit. He was like, I was assuming the speed limit was 65 or 70 because it was called Pacific Coast Highway, like I thought highways and freeways all had the same speed limit. Turns out the speed limit where I was driving at the time was like 35. Oops. On the plus side, it was so clear that I was just fucking stupid and genuinely believed it that he let me go with a warning. So I guess it was a good response in the end. Last time I got a ticket it was in a 45 miles per hour zone. Cop says you were going 65. I said, 55? He says, 65. I said, 55? Cop takes a beat and says, okay, 55. I said, thanks, and took my ticket. I was going with the flow of traffic. I'm a lawful concealed weapons permit holder and my weapon OS located at my 1 o'clock position. How would you like to proceed? I'd rather not answer any questions. Always say yes, or they could make up a speed. Because you wanted to invite me to the Uvalde police ball? Uvalde police don't have balls. I was simply trying to keep with the flow of traffic. After reading these responses, how often are you guys getting pulled over? My God. I was just trying to match the flow of traffic. I was told it's best to ask them what they're asking you. Officer, do you know why I pulled you over? You, why did you pull me over? Officer, do you know how fast you were going? You, how fast was I going? Speed is relative, officer. Lie and tell them exactly how fast you want them to think you thought you were going. Be polite and respectful. What you say doesn't matter as much as how you say it. And for the love of everything holy, do not make any sketchy or sudden movements. Keep hands on the wheel unless otherwise directed. No, but I'm guessing you do? Yes, I answer honestly. And when I get a ticket, I go to court, tell the truth, and get the ticket dismissed. Never discount the effect of telling the truth to a judge that has to listen to y'all's bullshit day in and day out. So far, I'm batting .1000. I thought you would know.